Hey guys, Matt Henderson here. In today's video, I'm going to be doing a review of this Buzz Lightyear. So this will require a bit of context before we get into it. So this Buzz doesn't really have a specific name to it, so I'm just going to be calling it 2-Pack Buzz Lightyear. This Buzz was released in 2012, and it's made by Disney Store. I'm not sure where it was sold, but it was made by them. And this Buzz was released in a 2-pack that came with a Zurg figure. Now, I've already made a review of a different Zurg figure that came in a 2-pack, but that was not the same Zurg as the one that came with this figure. So it's a little bit confusing, but the point I'm trying to make here is that there were two different 2-packs that contained a Disney Store Buzz and Disney Store Zurg. And then this one has a unique Buzz with it. So you got that? Let's continue. So this Buzz is really unique in many ways. And the first thing that makes him unique is his color scheme. So he has this predominant gray color, which is pretty unusual, especially for that time period. And he also has this interesting green and purple color. It's kind of hard to show this, but it's kind of like a metallic color. But it also kind of reminds me of like a metal flake color. It's a very nice color. I think it looks really nice. And you don't really see that color on Buzz Lightyear's, so it's pretty cool. And then his head is also a bit of a different color. It's a much brighter pink color. On later Disney Store Buzzes, they would have a much darker colored head. So all around, he looks pretty unique. So another thing that sets this Buzz apart are his phrases. So this Buzz has a very interesting set of phrases. So this Buzz came with the Zurg. And basically what they did was they made it to where Buzz's phrases go perfectly with Zurg's phrases. And it's kind of like the old Interactive Buddies figures where they can talk to each other. But with these toys, they don't really do that. You just kind of push their buttons back and forth. But it's still really cool that they basically program them to have like a conversation with each other. So I'll go ahead and show you Buzz's phrases first, and then I'll pull out my other Zurg figure. And I'll basically have them do their entire conversation with each other. So yeah, let's begin.
Greetings, I am Buzz Lightyear. I protect the galaxy from the threat of invasion from the evil Emperor Zurg. Space Ranger will never be defeated by evil. Space Rangers eat evil for breakfast. You don't stand a chance. Evil is always defeated by good. To infinity and beyond. Surrender. Who do you think I am? I'll never give in. A Space Ranger joining forces with Zurg? Impossible. I'll never join you, unless it's to fight you. The truth is, Zurg, I'm gonna mop the Gamma Quadrant with you. What? It can't be. The evil Emperor Zurg, my father? Not today, Zurg. I shall defeat you with my laser. Booyah! Take that!
So those are all of his phrases. So without context, they sound a bit weird, but whenever you pair it up with Zurg, they actually make a lot more sense. So I'm going to bring in my other 2-pack Zurg. Like I already said, this is not the same Zurg that he actually came with, but this is the only Zurg that I own. So it's the only thing that I have right now, so it's the best I can do, basically. That's what I'm trying to say. So here's what they both sound like together.
Greetings, I am Buzz Lightyear. I protect the galaxy from the threat of invasion from the evil Emperor Zurg. So, we meet again, Buzz Lightyear, for the last time. I will defeat you, Space Ranger. Space Ranger will never be defeated by evil. Mark my words, you and Star Command will bow before me. Space Rangers eat evil for
So whenever you have them talk to each other, it's actually really cool. But I think there was a bit of a missed opportunity here. So many years after these two were both released, Disney Store actually made newer Buzz Lightyears and Zurg and all of their other figures actually, and they included a new play feature that's called the Toy Detector. And it's essentially a way for all of them to be able to communicate with each other. And it's kind of like how the old Interactive Buddies figures worked, to where they have like infrared sensors and they'll, talk back and forth with each other. But they weren't really that great because their voice boxes weren't really meant to go with each other. But with these two figures, they go perfectly together. So, in my opinion, I think this would have been a really cool feature years later. But I mean, it's still cool that they can talk back and forth with each other, by just pushing their buttons. But I feel like it was a bit of a missed opportunity. So, basically, what I'm trying to say, it would be cool if they did this type of thing nowadays. All right, so I'll go ahead and continue the review of Buzz now. So I'll go ahead and show you his laser. It's pretty much Disney Store standard laser nowadays. It's a bit of an obnoxious sound, but at least it has a laser, so there's that. And then he also has wings. Now this will require a bit of context as well. So his wings don't really work that well. So for one thing, because this is based off of the older Disney Store Buzz Lightyears, they have a few quality issues, and I'll get a little bit more into it as I go on here. But basically, whenever you deploy the wings, not all of the lights will work necessarily. I'll go ahead and just gently pull them out. So as you can see, the green light wing does not work, but the other two do work. And the reason why is because this actually still is kind of a problem nowadays, but the way the back of the jetpack thing works is that there's actually a metal contact piece at the very top, and that's what actually connects the jetpack to Buzz himself. But on these old figures, the contact is kind of loose, like it kind of the jetpack actually wiggles around a little bit, so it's not making great contact. So this wing actually does work, and I'll go ahead and show you. If you push this thing up, it does actually turn on. So that's actually what they're supposed to look like, but it's just not making good contact. So the wings basically don't really work properly. And then there's another thing that's kind of funny about this that also has to do with this wing. So the reason why I was gentle with the wings is because whenever you deploy the wings, this part will fly off. I'll go ahead and show you one time. Okay, it didn't work the first time, but we got it. So it flies right off. Now, thankfully, you can just stick it right back in, but it kind of sucks that happens. I'll probably glue it in at some point, but I decided to show that in the video because I thought it was hilarious. Alright, so I found it after like a minute of looking for it. So you can just stick it right back in and it's fine, but it kind of sucks that happens, but it's also pretty funny. So, oh yeah, you can also see the color difference on the wings. See how the white on the wings doesn't really match the gray of the figure? So, yeah. But anyway, I'll go ahead and show you his articulation. So, also, because this is a Disney Store Buzz, it has the helmet where it's spring-loaded to where when you push this button, it flies right open. And it works really well on this Buzz. But anyway, his head does rotate. Not very much, but it does rotate. Then this arm can rotate all the way around. It moves up and down with the shoulder. and at the elbow. And on this side, it can actually, this joint here can actually swivel all the way around. And then he also has his wrist communicator, which is very nice. And then his hand rotates. His fingers can all move, and then the pointer finger can be moved separately. And then this arm is a little bit less posable because of his karate chop action. So it can move up and down this far. It cannot move up and down at the shoulder, and it cannot swivel here, but it can move in and out. And then the hand still rotates all the same, and the fingers can all still move. And while I'm here, I'll go ahead and show you his karate chop action. Whoops. You just push this button and it moves his arm up and down. It works pretty well. And then his waist does rotate, but it's really stiff on this Buzz, and I don't even want to try to move it, so there's that. And then his legs, they all kind of move a little bit together. They can move a little bit more if you just hold the leg in place, but they're supposed to be able to move a little bit higher than this. So that's kind of unfortunate. They can't swing out very far though, so that's good. And then the knees bend. They don't lock into place though, and same with the ankles. So this thing is kind of hard to get standing because either the knees want to bend or the whole thing just wants to move. And as you can probably hear, his joints are also very noisy. So overall, his posability is okay, but the quality is not really that great. But really, it's not too bad. So overall, I do like this Buzz, but the quality is definitely a problem. I feel like overall, I think this Buzz has kind of aged poorly in some ways, but in other ways, it's aged really nicely. I really like how he looks, and I really like his phrases, but the actual build quality of the figure is pretty bad. As much as I will knock the more modern Disney Store Buzzes, they are built much, much better than this one. The older ones are just, they have not aged well. And like I said, I think this Buzz would be a really good candidate for something like the toy detector mode because, you know, it would just make sense. But I do still like this Buzz. I am very happy to have it. I would recommend getting this if you can, but it is hard to find this thing. And because of the quality issues, it can be hard to find it in good shape. But if you can find it, I would definitely recommend it. So yeah, guys. That's about all I have to say about this Buzz. Let me know what you guys think. So yeah, bye.